Good morning, Arsene.
Good morning.
The team news was out yesterday, but just to check, is all well in comparison to the Fulham game? It's the same squad with the exception of Giroud, is that right?
Exception to Giroud, everybody should be available, yes.
The latest on Fabianski, what's the situation?
Fabianski is out still.
And it's just,
That means Chesney will play.
how are you going to fill the vacancy that's left by Giroud up front?
That's not decided yet, but in the next 48 hours for sure it will be decided. But we keep exactly the same structure in our team and the same football, and just the personnel will be a bit different, will be less strong in the air, that's for sure. But we'll try to play with the characteristics and the personality of the player who will replace him.
Manchester United have secured the league title. How do you assess this Man U in comparison to other Man U's? Because you played against a few.
It's difficult to assess because they won it in a discreet but secure way, and they have been quietly efficient, you know, and the most consistent in the league. And they had 27 wins. That is quite impressive. They've been remarkable, especially at home. And what they always are at Old Trafford, they have always a very good record, and so they won it in a convincing way.
And just finally from me, last week the win against Fulham was a win on the back foot kind of thing. To play the champions at home, presumably you've got to get more on the front foot and attack them. Obviously. Yes,
of course. I feel especially the last 5-6 minutes. You know, let's not forget we had still 72% possession in this game, but we were a bit. It was a bit conservative possession, and usually we have an attacking possession. That's what we want, of course, because we wanted to protect our lead, and but we will come back to our traditional way on Sunday.
Arsene, hello. Are you looking forward to Robin van Persie's return, or slightly dreading it?
I'm looking forward to our performance on Sunday. You know, it's more than anything else. You focus on your own team, and it's an interesting opportunity for us, and to achieve something special on Sunday. And we want, of course, to take this opportunity.
There is a suggestion, though, that some supporters might give him a hot reception. What would you say to them?
What I say, we respect Robin van Persie like every other player who has left us and came back to the Emirates, and I wouldn't say anything different.
But would you be disappointed if he was booed, given how much he did help you over the years?
Well, I can only reiterate that I want the player to be respected like everybody else, and I always said that for every single player who left, even some of them in much more controversy than Robin van Persie.
The fact that they are champions, does that make your task easier or in a way harder because they're relaxed and can play as they want?
As you say, they can relax, but it's very difficult to know that. What we know is no matter in what state Man United will be, we need a great performance to beat them, and that's what we want to focus on.
How much do you think they will be motivated by trying to achieve a record number of Premier League points this year, given that a lot of people suggested they're not as good as other sides that have won the title?
I don't know, there as well. I think I expect them to come and try to play their game and win the game like they always do when they come to the Emirates, you know. And we only can focus on our own performance, and we are on a very strong run in the last 10 games, and we have a good level of confidence, we have a great desire, and it's a good opportunity to show for us that we have moved forward in this league since we played them last time at Old Trafford, what I think we have, but that's a good opportunity to show that.
Because you're on such a good run, do you feel more confident at this stage this season than, say, at the same stage last season in the battle for a top 4 finish?
I was confident last season as well, I must say, and but I'm confident we will do it. But compulsory thing is to keep the attitude and the focus that we have shown in the last 10 games. We need absolutely total focus, commitment and willingness. That's what is requested to achieve what we want to achieve.
Do you think it might get even harder though next year to do it, given that if Chelsea have Jose back with a big amount of money to spend, for example, do you think it could be even harder, top 4 next year?
We don't know. Chelsea is already a very good team, and they anyway spend always a lot of money. And I believe there again, it's very difficult to know how strong the other teams will be. What is important is how strong we will be, and that's as well the end of the season will dictate already next season.
Arsene, do you have a theory as to why Robin van Persie seemed to settle in very quickly at Old Trafford, whereas some strikers like Fernando Torres didn't make the immediate impact at Chelsea that Van Persie made at Manchester United?
Well, Van Persie is in 2013, 30 years old. He has a massive talent. He's a world-class player who has a fantastic technique and has a lot of experience as well. You know, let's not forget that he played World Cup finals, Van Persie, and has a huge experience with the national team, with the Champions League, and he has a fantastic individual talent as well.
So you say it's down to experience more than anything else?
It
Or is
is.
he just a better player?
It is experience, talent, and the players around you as well. But I had no doubt that he would adapt very well.
How much have you missed him, do you think, this season?
You know, you don't focus on your team like that. What you want to focus on is that when the big players go, what happened to us many times, you just want to get around it and try to find a new organization that is efficient. You always miss a big player, but the only thing I can say, we took us a while to get around it, but if you look at the number of goals we have scored, it's similar to last season. So it took us a while because the game went a lot through him to find a different way, you know. And but overall, we had to find a new balance between defending, attacking, and. But now we are stabilised.
Given it's always good for you, I suspect, to beat Manchester United, you always enjoy beating Manchester United. Given this season's been very much up and down, and they're now the champions, is it going to mean more to you this weekend?
Well, what is for us a vital target this weekend is to achieve what we want to achieve, is to be in the top 4 minimal, and therefore, of course, we know for a long time now that we have no room to drop points, and this one is another vital game for us to get the points we want.
Just one final question from me. You said the decision not to reduce Giroud's ban was a bit harsh by the FA. Do you think the FA should actually come out with a list of guidelines as to why they extend or why they don't extend these bans?
I believe that the sanctions, what they have to explain is that I believe that the sanctions, the punishment is explainable by the severity of the tackle or of the offence, by the history of the player, and as well by the proportionality of the punishment with other players, what other players have been punished before. And in this case, the proportionality looks very, very severe, considering what other players have been punished for. I think what has gone completely against Suarez is his history. That is very heavy on the offence front, and that's why he has been punished so severely. That's the only explanation I can find.
Arsene, it's obviously a difficult decision to sell Robin. Is it one that you regret now?
Look, I don't go into that game thinking that. What has You never do. In our job, you look forward. There are so many great players have left this club that you could be full of regrets, you know. When you make a decision, you know there's pluses and minuses, but what is only important now is the future of the club and of the team. It's how you look at it.
Must be difficult though when a player that you invested 8 years in.
Yes, but it's always difficult to lose big players. Let's be realistic. It's more difficult when we are 24, when we are 29 and have given a few years to the club. But that's part of a modern life, of a modern football as well.
From the outside looking in, it seemed quite surprising that you and Sir Alex spoke directly about that deal, and there was a lot of sort of personal contact.
Mm.
How do you describe your relationship with him now?
Respectful.
It seemed a surprise that you two would talk directly about a player like that, and that transfer would happen.
Because sometimes to get in this story, it was the final thing was done, yes, like that, and because it was the only way to get there.
Arsene, was there ever a situation where you could have seen the Guard of Honour not taking place this weekend?
No. Well, I'm first of all, I'm French. I work in England, and I want the English tradition to be respected. It's a culture. When you work somewhere abroad, you have to respect the culture of the country. That is part of the tradition of English football, and I want that, of course, to be respected.
Do you think maybe, in a way, it could help spur your group of players on to say that, you know, this could be happening to you next year, maybe?
I hope, yes, that it will happen to us next year, but we are guided by the fact that we want to win our last 4 games, and that's the next one. We know it's a difficult hurdle for us. Will it add something to our motivation? I don't know.
Just on Robin, again, he's a player you have invested a lot of time and personal.
Yes,
thing.
you can say that.
And you took a gamble on him, really bringing him from Feyenoord when he was unproven, had those problems. And how does it make you feel when you see him scoring and running over and celebrating with Sir Alex Ferguson?
Well, you would prefer that it is for you, but you can only. We are in a job where you want to do 2 things: do the best you can for your club, and influence in a positive way life of people. And in that, on that side, I think that Arsenal had a positive impact on the life and the career of Robin van Persie. So we have done our job in a positive way.
Just finally looking at the Sunday's game, the team set up. Does the different balance that either if you play Podolski in Giroud's role or Walcott straight down the middle, because they almost seem to give something different to your attacking options, don't you? So is that something you have to weigh up?
Yes, that's something I have to weigh up. Yes, who will play through the middle?
Arsene, Andre Villas-Boas yesterday was saying he believes it will go right to the final game, and he can't see Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs picking up maximum points from the last few games. Do you agree with him?
No, I think it's possible. For not all the 3 can pick the maximum points up, because Chelsea will play against Tottenham, so that's for sure. But on our front, we want, of course, to pick maximum points, knowing that it will be a tough task, but that's our target.
Thanks, guys. Can we just turn the cameras off?
One last question about Germany's success in the Champions League this week, Arsene. What did you make of it?
Well, the fact that it raises a few questions. I don't think that, like many people say, that Germany now will dominate European football for the next 5-6 years. I believe that we have to take that with a little bit in a different point of view for the 2 clubs. Bayern is traditionally the club. We have played 3 finals in the last 4 years. But Bayern Munich is a huge financial power in Germany. They do what they want, you know. They are financially 3 times bigger than any other club. So they have the choice to do what they want in their country. That's why traditionally they are always the strongest club in Germany, because of a huge commercial power. And Dortmund is a consequence of, it's a huge financial football place, Dortmund. 80,000 people every week in the heart of Germany. And I think they have a basis, and they have done an excellent work on the scouting front and on the educating front of their players. And that's why they are where they are. Having said that, they could have gone out against Malaga with a good referee decisions, you know, and we forget that. So before we go over to general conclusions, let's not be too quick. If it happens 3-4 years, yes. The only thing I would say, does Germany not take, with the national team and with their clubs, not take an advantage of a longer winter break than anybody else? And that goes when they go to a big tournament with their national team. And goes as well when you play against them in March, April, especially in April, as an English club or Spanish club, you have a handicap, that's for sure. And because what people forget with a long winter break, it is that during that break, the international players get the real rest as well. What is not the case in the summer, because in the summer many times your players get only 2-3 weeks off, the internationals, because they play in the big tournaments. You have to get them back, and they do start the new season without being completely rested. If you have a big winter break, even because the national teams don't play during that break, the international players who are the most exposed to severe physical stress have a real rest as well in winter, and that is a massive advantage.